When you can actually see your profit for the year in dollars and cents, it gets you more in the notion of selling corn, knowing that I can lock in a $50,000 profit or whatever the profit is. You want to lock it in. If I know I can make that much profit in a year, I will be in business next year.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bills. Today is Thursday the 23rd here, and we had the market mixed at the close, but for the better part of the trading session, we were trading higher here. Let's turn over to the Grain Hedge trading platform and see where we closed out the day. Corn trading down 1.5 cents, soybeans up 7 3/4 cents, and wheat in Chicago trading up 3 cents here on the day. One of the things that could have been helping out soybeans is the fact that down in Brazil, it seems as though we have a reignition here of that trucker strike. About 14 different trucking locations throughout the country seem to have some sort of trucker strike going on as of this morning. So that is a concern here. Seems as though they were unable to get their issues resolved, which was higher fuel prices, and they wanted some sort of minimum wage there, and it just wasn't able to get resolved. So the bottom line here, they were unhappy with that. Truckers took to the roads again, and it seems as though we do have a trucker strike. I think it is unlikely we get back to the highs when we had over 100 different locations that had trucker strikes. But when you have 14 locations, that is something to take note of. Certainly, if this continues to flare up, this could cause some logistics concerns, and of course concerns that could lead to more export sales being pushed onto the books of U.S. soybeans. We'll have to take a look and see what the export sales report showed for this week's U.S. soybeans report. Let's get into that right now. Corn coming in with 867,000 metric tons sold here this week. Very positive, well over last week's total, and well over the range of analyst estimates, which ranged anywhere between 400 and 600,000 metric tons. Also, we saw soybeans come in here with 102,000 metric tons sold here. So this was very positive to see, especially when you take into account the time of year. Now, last week we did have 312,000 metric tons sold. That was very positive. But really, anything positive, any sort of sales now is just cake. It just adds a little icing to this already very, very strong year of soybean exports that the U.S. has had. We'll talk a little bit about the cumulative export sales, where we are in terms of meeting USDA pace in just a moment. But wheat here coming in with 397,000 metric tons here, well over last week's 47,000 metric tons, and over expectations, which only range between basically a wash here for export sales and 100,000 metric tons. So very positive week here for the grains. I think that helps support things early on, along with a declining dollar. But let's take a look at cumulative corn exports. You'll see here this chart represents where we are in terms of meeting USDA expectations. You'll notice each one of these red bars represents the cumulative export sales at that week. Now the green line represents the pace needed to meet USDA expectations. So you can see here we've booked 39.5 million metric tons here as of this week, over the 37.9 million metric tons that were needed at this time to meet USDA expectations. We are, of course, behind last year's pace, but overall, this is positive, especially when you take into account the current USDA expectations from the latest WASDE report. Let's take a look at soybeans here. You'll notice, once again, adding to the total up to 48.6 million metric tons here. That's over the 44.5 million metric tons needed to meet USDA expectations. We're well over this year's pace, we're well over last year's pace. We're also well over the expectations here during this time of the year, taking into account seasonality. So again, very positive week here for soybeans. Other than that, guys, that wraps up today's show. If you have any questions about what we talked about today, please give the office a call. The number is 877-472-4607. Remember, if you haven't done so already, take a demo of the trading platform. It certainly is a valuable tool when you're out in the field looking over grain prices, being able to view them live, tick for tick, on your mobile phone, being able to place trades there, and putting on some sort of price protection, especially following those big reports. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you here Friday for the weekly wrap-up.